Living in an age where we will see the fulfillment of the remaining one-third of his prophecies.
For centuries, Nostradamus has been revered and feared in equal measure. His prophecies have echoed through time, foretelling wars, disasters, and the rise and fall of empires. But among them, there were 10 final predictions, a series of chilling warnings that paint a dark and uncertain future. The last of these, the most ominous of all, points directly to 2025, and what's unfolding now is eerily aligned with his vision. Is this the moment history has been leading to? The signs are undeniable. From political upheaval to global crises, everything seems to be falling into place exactly as he foretold. Could this be the event that reshapes the world forever? Stay with us as we uncover the terrifying truth. Hit like and follow to unravel Nostradamus's final and most haunting prophecy. Let's begin. Referred to as the Prophet of Doom, Nostradamus stunned the world with his eerily accurate predictions. Amid growing concerns over Pope Francis's health, Nostradamus's prophecy about the death of Pope Francis and the emergence of his successor has become more alarming than ever. Could Nostradamus's centuries-old prophecy be coming true? Has the final pope officially been revealed? Pope Francis, the 266th Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, has had a profound impact on the world since his election in 2013. Born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, he was the first Jesuit and the first pope from the Americas. During his tenure, Pope Francis has sought to address issues like climate change, the suffering of refugees, modernizing the church, and advancing social justice. The Pope was admitted to Gemelli Hospital in Rome a few days ago after what medical professionals described as an increasingly complex health issue. According to the Vatican, he had pneumonia in both lungs, which later led to the early stages of kidney insufficiency. Doctors have stated that Francis's condition is touch and go, given his age, fragility, and pre-existing lung disease. The main threat facing him is the possibility of the infection entering the bloodstream, a serious condition known as sepsis. New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan, speaking from St. Patrick's Cathedral, acknowledged the gravity of the situation, saying, "Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, is in very, very fragile health and probably close to death." He added that he was praying for Francis to recover. This concerning scenario leads us to a prophecy given centuries ago by the 16th century seer. According to Nostradamus, we could be facing a year that marks the farewell to Pope Francis, who will be 88 years old in 2025. In one of his writings, Nostradamus stated, "Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his see, but long will he sit, and in biting activity." Some believe this means that an elderly pope, possibly Pope Francis, may pass away, and a new one will be chosen. Is this the end of the Church? Or is it a prophetic sign marking the beginning of a turning point that brings us closer to God? Another part of his prophecy says, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep in many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people." The end. This has led to further speculation that the Catholic Church may face difficult times ahead. According to Nostradamus, the end of the previous pope opens the new journey for the following one. The pope's worsening health has raised questions about the Catholic Church's succession plan. The only time papal power changes hands is when a pope dies or resigns. The election of a new pope follows a centuries-old process known as the papal conclave. When a pope dies or resigns, the College of Cardinals gathers in the Sistine Chapel to elect a new leader. All voting cardinals must first take an oath of secrecy before being cut off from the outside world. Only cardinals under the age of 80 are eligible to vote. The process involves multiple rounds of voting until a candidate secures a 2/3 majority. white smoke rising from the Sistine Chapel chimney signals that a new pope has been elected. Regardless of what happens, Pope Francis's reign has been characterized by his humility, his focus on the marginalized, and his efforts to reform the Church. As the world watches his health closely, the potential transition to new leadership marks a significant moment in the history of the Catholic Church. Whether Nostradamus's predictions hold any truth remains to be seen, but the impact of Pope Francis's papacy will undoubtedly be felt for years to come. Let's take a moment to reflect. Why does Nostradamus hold such weight, such undeniable influence across centuries? He is not merely remembered for what he predicted, but for what came true. Wars, assassinations, disasters. His words have echoed through time, leaving an unsettling trail of accuracy. But in the final moments of his life, there was one prophecy that stood apart from the rest. One that could never be repeated: his own death. In 1566, at the age of 63, Nostradamus succumbed to pulmonary edema, what they called dropsy in his time. His body swelled so terribly that he could no longer lie down, forcing him to sleep upright with his feet propped upon a bench. And in his last breath, he foretold how his own blood relatives would ascend the stairs to his secret study, only to find him lifeless, exactly as he had predicted. For those who claim Nostradamus never got anything right, this chilling accuracy stands as an irrefutable testament. If he foresaw his own fate with such precision, what does that mean for his final prophecy, the one tied to 2025? Stay with us. The truth is only beginning to unfold. Some see the age of Aquarius as a time of great spiritual awakening, marked by higher consciousness, harmony, and innovation. However, Nostradamus feared that this transition could bring chaos, rebellion, and unrest. His mention of blood, milk, famine, war, and disease suggests that humanity's path into this new era will be far from smooth. The coronavirus, 19 pandemic, climate change, economic recession, social unrest, and political conflicts of recent years could be seen as mere precursors to the turbulent events he foretold for 2025 and beyond. The possible uprising of artificial intelligence. One of the most unsettling predictions Nostradamus made for 2025 involves the revolt of artificial intelligence against its human creators. In one of his quatrains, he wrote about combats, naval battles, bombings, and a global uprising of superior intelligence created by man. Though the exact time frame remains unclear, Nostradamus hinted that the rapid advancement of AI could lead to a scenario where machines, robots, and algorithms develop self-awareness and turn against their human masters. The consequences of such an event could be catastrophic, disrupting industries, economies, governments, and everyday life. Some analysts believe the combats and naval battles he described might symbolize growing tensions between major world powers, the United States, China, Russia, and India, as they race for dominance over AI technology, global markets, and military superiority. Could the fight for control over artificial intelligence be the next great global conflict? Donald Trump's second term, a fulfilled prophecy or a dangerous rise? The return of Donald Trump to the White House in 2025 has sent shockwaves across the world. Whether seen as the savior of a struggling nation or the bringer of division, his re-election marks a turning point in history, one that many believe was foretold centuries ago. Nostradamus, the legendary 16th century seer, wrote of a great leader's rise and fall, a figure of immense influence whose reign would reshape the course of nations. Could this be a prophecy of Trump's second term, or something far more ominous? The leader that defies history. In just his first few months back in office, Trump wasted no time making bold moves. His administration focused on economic revival, border security, and energy independence, signaling a return to the policies that defined his first presidency. With sweeping executive orders, he pushed for deregulation, tax incentives for businesses, and a renewed commitment to American industrial dominance. The stock market surged in response, yet global markets braced for uncertainty as Trump's aggressive trade policies sparked concerns of economic retaliation. Internationally, his approach remained firm. The U.S.-China rivalry escalated, with Trump imposing new economic sanctions and reaffirming a hard stance against what he called unfair trade practices. Tensions with Russia, already at a boiling point, grew more complex. While some hoped Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin would ease global conflicts, military strategists warned that a new Cold War was on the horizon. At home, his presidency became a battleground for ideological struggle. His policies on immigration, law enforcement, and social issues fueled national debates, dividing the country further. Mass protests, counter-movements, and intense media scrutiny defined the early months of his return, reinforcing the idea that America stood at a crossroads between revival and rebellion. A prophecy from the past? Centuries before, Nostradamus warned of a leader whose influence would stretch far and wide, bringing with him great conflict and transformation. In one of his cryptic quatrains, he wrote, "The Great One shall be struck down by lightning in the day, a cruel act, yet justice shall be seen this way. A voice shall rise, dividing the land, and nations will tremble at the strength of his hand." Many believe these words could foretell the fate of Trump's leadership. Could this be the warning of an assassination attempt or a downfall by political forces? Some argue that the voice that divides the land is a direct reference to Trump's controversial nature, one that commands loyalty from millions, yet ignites fierce opposition. Others look at this prophecy from a darker perspective. The book of Revelation speaks of a figure who will rise in power, wield influence over nations, and face immense resistance. In Revelation 13:5-7, it is written, "The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies, and to exercise its authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to blaspheme God, and to slander his name and his dwelling place, and those who live in heaven. It was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them." For centuries, theologians have debated the meaning of this passage. While some see it as an apocalyptic prophecy of a tyrannical leader, others view it as a metaphor for political and ideological struggle. Regardless, it remains an unsettling parallel to the polarizing leadership style of Trump, where some hail him as a defender of Christian values, while others warn of his unchecked authority. The rising powers, Putin and Musk in the New World Order. While Trump's return reshaped the political landscape, other powerful figures continued to assert their influence. Vladimir Putin, emboldened by the ongoing geopolitical shifts, tightened his grip on Russia's economic and military dominance. Despite increasing sanctions and global pressure, his administration pursued military expansion and strengthened alliances with nations opposed to Western influence. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, the visionary billionaire, pushed forward with technological revolutions that blurred the lines between science and prophecy. His relentless pursuit of space colonization, artificial intelligence, and energy independence positioned him as a modern-day Prometheus, bringing fire to humanity, yet leaving many to wonder if his ambitions aligned with divine intent or a dangerous overreach into the unknown. Nostradamus' predictions often alluded to technological revolutions, conflicts among the world's most powerful nations, and the emergence of a leader who could change the course of humanity. Could 2025 be the year that sees all of these forces collide? A nation at the brink. As Trump's second term unfolds, the weight of history and prophecy looms heavily. His leadership is shaping new economic policies, foreign relations, and the balance of power on the world stage. Some believe he is the chosen leader, the one destined to restore America to its former glory. Others fear that his reign could usher in an era of global instability and unforeseen consequences. The coming years will determine whether Nostradamus' final prophecy is truly unfolding before our eyes. Are we witnessing the great revival of a nation, or the beginning of a profound reckoning? Time will tell. If you believe in God's divine plan, comment below. I trust in the Lord. Only God knows all things, and it is important to remember that we are simply examining current and upcoming events based on remarkable coincidences, not making absolute claims or passing judgment on any individual. Let us listen with an open heart, for only He holds the ultimate truth. Now let's move on to the most intriguing part, the moment you've been waiting for at the end of this video. The rise of China as a dominant global force has been evident for decades. Geopolitical analysts have long warned about the changing dynamics of power, and Nostradamus' prophecies seem to echo these concerns. Throughout history, China has demonstrated its military strength, particularly in the South China Sea and Taiwan, often through naval maneuvers. Many fear that this increasing tension could eventually escalate into an all-out war. Nostradamus wrote of combat and naval battles, warning that the red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. Some scholars believe the red adversary refers to Communist China, suggesting that a naval conflict involving China and NATO countries could be on the horizon. Could 2025 be the year when tensions boil over into a military confrontation? The Mars mission and celestial fire. Michel de Nostradamus continues to fascinate the world 5 centuries after his death, largely due to his astonishingly accurate prophecies. Among them, he predicted a celestial fire descending upon a regal edifice, coinciding with the extinguishing of the light of Mars. This cryptic message has puzzled scholars for centuries, yet recent advancements in space exploration suggest it could be linked to real-world events unfolding now. According to Nostradamus, celestial fire will appear when the lights go out on Mars. This could refer to disruptions in Mars exploration efforts, satellite failures, or even a cosmic event affecting the planet. Surprisingly, even The Simpsons seem to have made a similar prediction. In a 2016 episode, the show depicted humans colonizing Mars by 2051, a scenario eerily close to Elon Musk's real-life vision. Could Nostradamus have foreseen an astronomical disaster, or was he predicting a breakthrough in human space travel? As missions to Mars become a reality, the possibility of uncovering life beyond Earth looms ever closer. And if the final quatrains of Nostradamus are to be believed, what happens on Mars might have direct consequences for life on Earth. The unfolding of 2025. As we step into 2025, it's impossible to ignore the shocking alignment between Nostradamus' centuries-old predictions and the real-world events happening today. From AI uprisings and political turmoil to military conflicts and space exploration, the pieces of his final prophecy seem to be falling into place. If history has taught us anything, it's that Nostradamus' words carry weight, and if his last vision is truly coming to pass, then humanity may be standing on the brink of something far greater than we ever imagined. Extraterrestrial discoveries? Nostradamus' mysterious vision. Nostradamus did not solely focus on earthly predictions. He also hinted at extraordinary discoveries in the realm of extraterrestrial life. His writings suggest that beings from beyond our planet have been observing humanity for centuries. It appears that the barrier between their world and ours is beginning to fade, opening the door to direct contact in the near future. This possibility could mark the beginning of a new era in human history. Advanced technologies, such as telepathic communication, often explored in science fiction, could become a reality, eliminating language barriers and fostering unprecedented global understanding. Imagine a world where thoughts and emotions can be instantly transmitted, promoting empathy and unity among nations. Although Nostradamus's prophecies may seem cryptic, they offer an opportunity to reflect on humanity's choices. Whether we view these visions as warnings or mere speculation, the call to build a more just and sustainable world remains urgent. Proverbs 16:3 reminds us, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." It is our responsibility to act wisely, seeking a future that reflects God's goodness, balance, and hope. A future with fewer conflicts, stronger global cooperation, and a renewed sense of unity could be the result of a cosmic awakening that redefines humanity's destiny. However, such a profound shift would also bring unexpected challenges. Facing beings from other worlds would raise deep questions about our identity, purpose, and place in the vast universe. According to Nostradamus, 2025 will be a year of unexpected transformations that will alter the global landscape in unpredictable ways. His prophecies suggest a period marked by political instability, economic crises, and social tensions. The possibility of a new world order looms on the horizon. The seer predicts the decline of ancient powers that have dominated the international stage for centuries, resulting in profound societal impacts. As the effects of climate change intensify, entire communities may be forced to abandon overpopulated cities and seek refuge in rural areas with access to natural resources. This mass migration could lead to regional conflicts over land and fertile territories. One of Nostradamus's most intriguing visions projects an uncertain future for Russia. He mentions health problems for Vladimir Putin, followed by the rise of a dark and ambitious leader within his inner circle. This could trigger a period of political instability with far-reaching global consequences. The prophet also foresaw shifts in the global financial system. His phrase, "currencies in search of answers," suggests a move toward decentralized economic systems. Some experts interpret this as a sign of India's rise as an emerging superpower driven by technological innovation and accelerated digitalization. Amid these upheavals, Nostradamus's words serve as a sobering reminder of the fragility of the current world order. Are these visions a glimpse into an inevitable future, or a call to action to shape our destiny? The Bible warns us about times of change and the challenges they bring. In Ecclesiastes 1:9, we read, "What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun." This verse invites us to reflect on how we face crises and to seek solutions aligned with divine principles. Additionally, Proverbs 29:18 states, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." This serves as a reminder of the importance of wise leadership and unity during moments of uncertainty. In addition, Nostradamus mentions the emergence of a sinister figure known as the Antichrist, a third great threat after Napoleon and Hitler. While Napoleon and Hitler caused global devastation, Nostradamus foresees the arrival of an even more dangerous figure. Analysts debate the identity of this final Antichrist, with some speculating about contemporary world leaders as possible candidates. According to Nostradamus's visions, this figure would unleash a catastrophic conflict, followed by 1,000 years of peace aligning with biblical prophecies. The battle between good and evil, the rise of divine justice, and the ultimate triumph of righteousness are recurring themes in both ancient scriptures and modern texts. These ideas strongly resonate with the Book of Revelation, which describes the final confrontation between celestial forces and the forces of darkness, culminating in the restoration of divine order. In Revelation 21:4, it is written, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." As the world faces global challenges in the 21st century, Nostradamus's words remind us how fragile peace can be. His vision, though unsettling, also serves as a call to reflection and action, working toward a future where justice prevails. This verse encourages us to seek peaceful solutions to conflicts rather than fueling division and destruction. A shift within the Catholic Church? A new era begins. Nostradamus also alluded to significant changes within the Catholic Church. According to his writings, the transition from an elderly pope to a younger leader would mark the beginning of a new era. He mentions the death of an aging pontiff and the arrival of a successor who would face criticism but eventually revitalize the faith. A specific verse stands out. With the death of the elderly pontiff, a new Roman will take his place. He will be questioned, but his steadfastness will lead him to rule with strength. Speculation grows regarding a possible change in the throne of St. Peter, especially due to the recent health issues of the current pope. A looming global conflict? Nostradamus's warning. Nostradamus's prophecies also hint at the possibility of a large-scale global conflict, suggesting that unresolved tensions could ignite a new world war. These warnings serve as a reminder of the urgent need to seek peace and stability. In Matthew 24, 6-8, Jesus warned, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come." This teaching encourages us to remain hopeful and act with wisdom in times of crisis, trusting in God's plan while working toward a more peaceful future. While Nostradamus's prophecies remain enigmatic, they invite us to reflect and seek paths of reconciliation and cooperation. Will we be able to learn from past warnings to avoid a dark future? The famous Nostradamus predicted the possibility of a global conflict fueled by tensions between China and Taiwan. As China strengthens its presence in the South China Sea, geopolitical tensions escalate, leading many to connect this situation to the French seer's ominous warnings. Nostradamus refers to a potential confrontation involving NATO and a red adversary. Experts suggest that this red adversary could represent China, given its communist regime. The rapid militarization of the region and the risk of naval conflict have heightened fears of a larger war. Trump's return and the global fallout. Nostradamus' prophecies have long been a source of intrigue, and one particular prediction has many speculating about Donald Trump's return to power in early 2025. His re-election is expected to reshape American politics and send shockwaves through the global economy. While no quatrain directly names Trump, some believe Nostradamus' writings forewarn of the instability his leadership may bring. One chilling prophecy suggests, "A powerful figure from the West shall reappear after much turmoil. Upon reclaiming power, he will erode the foundation of stability, divide the nation, and lead the country down a perilous path. Ideological confrontations will erupt, and blind decisions shall shake the world economy." If this prophecy is about Trump, it suggests his return will deepen America's internal divisions. His policies could ignite a period of political strife, economic uncertainty, and international conflict. Financial markets may descend into chaos, trade wars could escalate, and global alliances may fracture. Meanwhile, civil unrest in America could reach a boiling point with protests erupting over issues like race, free speech, and social rights. A fierce internal struggle could engulf Washington, while foreign policy decisions destabilize an already fragile world order. According to Nostradamus, these crises will usher in a new global downturn, potentially triggering an economic collapse. Whether his prophecy comes true remains to be seen, but the world watches anxiously as Trump prepares for his next term in office. King Charles III's health crisis and an unexpected successor. As news of King Charles III's health issues spread, whispers of Nostradamus's ancient prophecy resurfaced. The French seer, who wrote in cryptic verse centuries ago, is believed to have foretold upheaval within the British monarchy. One of his predictions refers to a ruler known as the King of the Isles, whose reign would end in turmoil either through abdication or removal. This unsettling vision now aligns with growing concerns over King Charles's ability to fulfill his royal duties. According to British author Mario Redding, Nostradamus's prophecy hints at a surprising successor, one that defies royal expectations. While Prince William is the obvious heir, some interpretations suggest that Prince Harry may take the throne instead. This shocking possibility stems from Reading's analysis, which suggests that public discontent, potentially linked to King Charles's past scandals, could fuel a major shift in the monarchy. Adding to the turmoil, the royal family faces another heartbreaking revelation. In March, Princess Kate stunned the world by revealing her cancer diagnosis, following what was initially believed to be routine surgery. Her health struggles, combined with controversy over digitally altered photos and growing secrecy, have fueled intense speculation about the royal family's stability. With Nostradamus's warnings about a period of unrest within the monarchy, many wonder if the British crown is on the brink of a dramatic transformation. Pope Francis's impending departure. Nostradamus also predicted upheaval within the Vatican, leading many to believe that Pope Francis's tenure may soon end. At 87 years old, the Pope has faced serious health concerns, including recent respiratory issues that prevented him from attending the United Nations Climate Conference. One of Nostradamus's quatrains eerily echoes this moment. Through the demise of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. Of him it will be said that he weakens his seat, but long shall he sit in biting activity. This suggests that after Pope Francis, the Catholic Church will elect a younger leader, though his reign may face challenges and weakened authority. Despite difficulties, Nostradamus predicts this new pope will engage in bold efforts to revitalize the Vatican. As speculation grows, many wonder if the transition of power within the Church will mirror the political and royal upheavals predicted for 2025. The looming threat of World War III. Perhaps Nostradamus' most terrifying prophecy for 2025 is his vision of a new world war. Nearly 79 years after World War II, his quatrains suggest that a global conflict is brewing with China at its center. According to his predictions, rising tensions in the South China Sea and China's aggressive stance toward Taiwan could ignite a catastrophic war. Military maneuvers, escalating disputes, and geopolitical shifts mirror the warnings laid out in Nostradamus's verses. One quatrain describes a red adversary trembling in fear, which some believe could reference China facing an international backlash. Nostradamus also alludes to naval battles and NATO's involvement, suggesting that Western powers may be drawn into the fight. If his prophecies hold true, 2025 could mark the dawn of a global conflict unlike any before. Are these merely cryptic verses, or are we witnessing the unraveling of fate itself? For generations, Nostradamus's prophecies have sparked fear, fascination, and endless debate. His cryptic visions of war, famine, disasters, and the fall of great leaders have left many questioning if we are now witnessing their fulfillment. But beyond the ominous warnings, could there be a deeper message, one not of despair, but of hope? Perhaps these predictions are not meant to terrify, but to awaken, to remind us that history is not merely unfolding by chance, but that God's hand is at work, guiding, warning, and calling humanity to repentance before it is too late. The trials we see may be painful, but they also offer an opportunity, a chance to turn back to God's mercy, His love, and His eternal plan. No leader, no prophecy, no earthly event holds the final word, only God does. His plan is greater than any prediction, and His love outshines even the darkest of times. If you believe that faith, not fear, should guide us, stand firm in His promises. Comment Amen below and share your thoughts. let us lift our eyes beyond prophecy and toward the one who holds all things in his hands. For in him there is always light, no matter how dark the road ahead may seem.